And my name is Chike Kamara, and I'm a small business owner, and I've been on SAM.gov as a registered company for about 5 or 6 years. And probably like you, I I signed up, was excited, saw that first solicitation, got confused, and then walked away. Went about my life, um, did the whole 9 to 5 thing, came back to it when the middleman strategy started to boom. So I got excited by Mr. White and Mr. Fisher. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to do this. Got back into those solicitations. And once I read enough of them, I was like, this is too confusing. It's not enough information. It's too many clauses. I don't know what this is even asking for. So I got frustrated. And I even took some courses. And I called some vendors, and I submitted some bids. Of course, I didn't win, but I still felt uneasy. There still was a fear there. I still wasn't clear. I was submitting bids, but I wasn't really clear on what the hell I was getting myself into. I just know, okay, they need 10 acres of grass cut. Let me just bid on this and submit it. But it's more than that. If I had more informed data points, then I could have probably come from a more advantageous place. And so fast forward to now, I was like, okay, this 9 to 5 thing isn't working for me. I'm a business owner, and I need to be a business owner. If I am a business owner, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not a 9 to 5 guy, even though I've been working a 9 to 5 for 30 something years. I'm still not comfortable doing 9 to 5. I want to work for myself. I want to grow my business. So I came back and I was like, okay, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to simplify this, because really the solicitations are daunting and it's a little confusing. I got to figure this out. So I built Solicitation IQ to help do just that, to simplify everything. And now I feel armed with enough information, enough data points to handle any solicitation. I mean, any. And now the control is in my hand. Is it even worth submitting a bid for this? Or, who even does this type of work? Solicitation IQ answers all those questions for me, and it helps put me in position to start to win that numbers game that everybody talks about, where they say bidding on government contracts is a little bit of a numbers game, in the sense that you have to collect quotes and submit bids until one hits, and then another one, then another one. I mean, that's the name of the game. And so you need that process simplified as much as possible. You need to know and understand the scope of the solicitation. So when vendors, when subcontractors ask you questions, you're more informed. And that way you won't get beat by price, and you won't get beat by ignorance of not knowing all the solicitation entails. I've heard horror stories of where people sort of underbid, and then come to find out more is needed, and then you have to pay out of your pocket to complete the job. And you don't want to be in that position. You want to have a complete understanding of everything as much as possible as you go through this process. Okay, so I want to give you a quick look at what we're building, or what we've built for small businesses like mine and yours. Small businesses that review contract opportunities and need to move faster from document review to quote collection. The basic problem is simple. Solicitations can be long, scattered, hard to turn into action. And did I say government jargon and clauses, like those things were like roaches to me. They were so annoying. I was like, what the hell is all of this? So a business owner like yourself may need to understand the scope, identify who can price the work, contact vendors, collect quotes, and then organize a bid response, often with very little time. Sometimes you might see an opportunity that's due in 2 days that you really feel like you're interested in administering. And Solicitation IQ can help you to get a handle on the scope as quickly as possible. Solicitation IQ is built to make that process much more simple and business-like and controlled. So it's not like you're coming from the standpoint with a mindset, hey, I'm a middleman, I'm just trying to get paid off the tops, whatever. No, Solicitation IQ works in a way where you're well-informed and you feel more like control of your business. You feel like you're growing your business. It's not just middleman, let's get this done. No, it's a little more organized and focused, but it's not intimidating, and it makes it much simpler. The focus is helping a bidder such as yourself get to the next practical step. What is needed, who can price it, what should be sent to them, and how the opportunity should be tracked. When you first log in, you get to a dashboard. So you land on the dashboard. This gives a quick view of active bids, recent opportunities, and the main areas of the app. The main workflow starts with get quotes. That's the bread and butter. That's the gold. And then it moves into the bid tracker for saved opportunities. Like if you say, hey, I'm going to collect all the quotes. I'm going to analyze all of the solicitations on Monday and Tuesday, and then I'll start calling and getting quotes on Wednesday. That's my dedicated get quotes day. And Solicitation can help you, because what it does, it spits out PDFs, like tear sheets, with all the information you need to call a vendor and get a quote. So you can collect those, save those, and then on Wednesday, you can go through them really quickly, because they're very simple. It simplifies everything in the solicitation. Pulls out the key information and cuts out all the fat. So that's the dashboard. So get quotes, analyze. Like I said, that's the gold. That's the conduit in which you can use to start the process, get the ball rolling. So under get quotes, the user uploads a solicitation package, such as a PDF, Word document, or a zip file. Now, what I like to do is when I go on SAM.gov and I search for a solicitation, and sometimes solicitations have 10 documents, 5 documents, 7 documents, 12 documents. I'm not going through all of that. And a lot of people that are quote unquote gurus will tell you don't need to go through all of that. You just need to look for the statement of work. Well, that's true. But what I like to do is I like to download all, which is a link that is above all the documents. Download all, and it downloads as a zip. Plug it into Solicitation IQ, and it analyzes everything, the whole scope of everything, so you're not missing anything. If you read just the statement of work and look for, okay, what is needed, then you might miss some key points. And so stick the whole thing into Solicitation IQ and analyzes everything, and then it gives you the whole picture in plain English. It tells you exactly what you need, exactly what you should get, exactly how to put together the bid package as stated in the documents, because sometimes they don't give you all the information. So what you get back is in plain English. What is being requested, where the work or delivery is located, key quantities or scope drivers, deadlines, red flags, and that's very important, red flags. Okay, in this document it says this, but there are some red flags. you need to make sure XYZ. I don't have any examples right now, but yes, there's a red flags section that sort of like an alert. Hey, check this out. You might want to see this. And then it also provides what type of vendor or supplier may be needed. Sometimes you may see something, a solicitation. You're like, what kind of business even does this type of work? And this is what is explained to you. This is meant to reduce the amount of time spent digging through pages of formal language and help you, the user, to understand whether the opportunity is even worth pricing. Like, you'll know fairly simply, should I even bid on this? And I've run some solicitations through this, and there have been a couple where I was like, nah, I'm not interested, because it told me this is actually not a solicitation. This is a request for quote, and this is a sources sought document. So I would have wasted my time because it was under solicitations, but it wasn't an actual solicitation. And I saw almost within seconds, hey, heads up, this is a sources sought. This is not a solicitation. This is not a contract opportunity right now. So I was like, cool, that saved me some time because it looked interesting. Next up, once the analysis is complete, the app returns a vendor shortlist. This is important because many small businesses such as yourself start by coordinating quotes. And, that's how you get started in this space. You coordinate quotes, you put a bid package together, and then you submit it to the government. You may not self-perform every requirement, so the quote is what helps you decide if the bid is workable. So the vendor search changes depending on the type of opportunity as well. That's another feature here in SolicitationIQ, where it gives you a list of vendors or subcontractors that you can contact to do the work. But it goes even further, and it gives you, for example, if you are bidding on a construction contract or a cleaning contract or an HVAC contract, the vendor shortlist is local to the location of the work of the site. But if you are bidding on a solicitation that's providing supplies such as 10,000 wing nuts or 20,000 bottles of water, then it gives you back manufacturer data, it gives you back distributor information or suppliers that can supply the product. So the goal is to give you a starting point for calls and emails without forcing you to search from scratch. It really simplifies everything. Now, I was saying earlier that you get PDF outputs that you can save, and then you can, if you dedicate one day to getting quotes, then you can go through all of those PDFs and use them for that day. So there are 2 PDF outputs, and they serve different purposes. The bidder tear sheet is for you. It includes the analysis. It includes 3 vendor contacts that can do the work, including their phone number and their website, a link to their get a quote page if you prefer to email them, but certainly calling is better. There are bid instructions, pricing structure, submission guidance, and next steps. That's your internal working sheet. And this is the PDF I was talking about, where you can, and it's usually 1 or 2 pages. You can collect them all. You can input a bunch of solicitations, keep them in a folder, and then when you're ready to make calls for quotes on that one specified day, if that's what you do, then you can go through them, and then you can crank out some contacts fairly quickly. And then there's a vendor brief. It's for sending to the vendors to help them to make a more informed decision or informed quote. You send it to the vendor, subcontractor, supplier, or manufacturer. It is intentionally very lean. It explains what needs to be priced, the quantity, the location, the schedule, what the vendor should include, and what the user, you, need back from them. The point is to help the vendor quote without overwhelming them, because the name of the game is quotes are gold. When you get a quote, then you can fill out the bid package. And once the bid package is filled out, then you could submit to the government. Then you have an opportunity to win the contract. That's how that works. Next is a bid tracker. After an analysis is completed, it is saved into bid tracker. And this is where opportunities are intended to live after the upload. So you always have a record of, okay, these are the solicitations that I uploaded. And it gives you a sort of like a quick view of all of the solicitations that you have uploaded. So you should be able to come back later, reopen the analysis, review the vendors again, download the PDFs, and even update the status. There is a SAM.gov search. Now you must be logged into SAM.gov in order for you to do an accurate search. Now sometimes that search pulls in stuff that you don't necessarily want because of how it's labeled. It could be labeled as a solicitation, but once you open it, it's actually a sources sought or something like that, or something like that. So, but you can do a search from this platform, SolicitationIQ. Now, if you want to download the documents, then you cannot do that from here. You'd have to go, and it'll take you to the actual page when you click on View in SAM. And then there's an area for you to keep sort of like a Rolodex of vendors, because you might need to come back to some of them for other jobs as well. There is an outreach and AI assistant. Outreach is intended to help generate vendor emails or phone scripts. So if you want to do a custom phone script, then you can come to Outreach and put in your information, and it will spit out a customized script, phone script or email script, follow-up, voicemails, stuff like that. The AI assistant is very, very useful. It's intended to help with document-specific questions and vendor replies. For example, if a vendor asks something after you say, okay, I need a quote for XYZ. If the vendor has a question and you don't understand it, you should be able to paste that question into the AI assistant and get a plain English explanation on what to do next or how to respond. So the main idea is straightforward. SolicitationIQ helps small businesses move from opportunity review to quote-ready action much faster. Instead of only summarizing a solicitation, it helps answer the business questions. What is this? Who can price it? What do I send them? What do I need back? And how do I keep the bid organized? This is the workflow we're building around. Analyze, find vendors, generate quote materials, save the opportunity, and keep moving towards a bid decision. Okay? So that is SolicitationIQ in a nutshell. I might do specific, more detailed videos on each part at a later date. but this is Solicitation IQ, and I think you'll find it very helpful. Give it a try. It's free. You can do 3 analysis per month in the free tier, but it's worth its weight in gold if you sign up for the professional tier. All right, that's all I got now. Comment below. Let me know if you think this would be helpful to you. And let's start dialogue on